Yo, it's Harlem on the rise, yo, we love to get the money. This a podcast, you can catch us being funny. Yeah, from 7 to 9, we litty and live. So stop everything, this is serious vibe. Catch us on a Wednesday, it's litty on a hump day. Listen in your car, got the Beamer or the Hyundai. Facebook Live, we live on the rec. You can.
Welcome back to the Beat 139. I'm Doc.
I'm Don Vito. What's good? What's cracking?
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Callie.
Okay, we got our second guest for the evening tonight. Harlem born, another Harlem brother in the building. High school honor student and athlete at St. Raymond's High School for boys in the Bronx. And mostly known as team that got accepted into 27 schools and receiving $1 million in scholarships. That's big, man. Mm-hmm. Proud of you, brother. Justin Hayes. Hey.
Justin Hayes, y'all. Justin Hayes. Justin Hayes.
Okay.
So I want to get into when you start playing sports. How old you was when you started playing sports?
When I started playing sports, I was like 5 years old. My first love was baseball, and I played for a few years. But then in middle school, at like 6th grade, I fell in love with basketball. And then baseball, I stopped for a little while. But basketball I took more serious going into high school.
But you're a two-sport athlete, though. Yeah.
So basketball, my freshman year, I went to LaSalle Academy, and I won the freshmanship. And then I transferred to be in a better division. I went to St. Raymond High School for boys. And then sophomore year, I had to sit out because of the CHSAA rules. And then junior year, we went to the quarterfinals. And then senior year, we went to the quarterfinals again. But I'm glad I transferred because that was like brotherhood to me.
All right, brother. Nice.
So what position do you play, man?
I played shooter guard to small forward.
Okay, shooter guard, small forward.
What position you played in baseball?
Baseball, I played catcher, pitcher, first base, and shortstop.
So you from my neighborhood. I'm from 39th and 38th. I know your pop's real good and your mom. And also your cousin Lionel. He told me you was a beast in baseball.
Yeah.
He said baseball, you was just a monster.
Back in I go to college, I'm playing baseball again.
Are you playing baseball again? I heard you was real good.
Yeah. I should never stop. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
So how was it playing both sports? Like, how did you manage to do that?
Basically, I learned to do that from my mother. She always was yelling in my ear, kept on showing me the greatness. I never gave up myself. But playing both sports, it kept me drained. So that's why I focus on basketball, really.
Did the time ever conflict? Like, both times where you had to be at practice, maybe for baseball and basketball at the same time?
Yeah, that's when middle school came in. I couldn't play both sports.
Right.
I wonder why they don't allow that. Is a reason why? They don't allow them to play. You said they couldn't play both sports.
Because sometimes,
because the time conflicts.
Sometimes fall baseball is coming sometimes in basketball practices.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
That's a lot of pressure on you too, though. You know, It ain't easy, man, playing two sports, man. Young or old, it's a lot of because you practice and you know what I'm saying. You know, your mindset be basketball, and next week you trying to hit a home run. You know, that's a lot of pressure, man.
But also, it makes you different, though. And then it keeps you, it's different type of exercise. Baseball is different, a workout different from basketball. So it keeps your body in all different type of tune.
But somewhere along the line, you're going to burn out, man. You're going to, not him, but I'm saying,
anybody
playing two sports, you're going to burn out. You know, Michael Jordan, a lot of people tried it, man. You know, and they were good at it for a little while. What's my man on football? Deion Sanders. You know, but you burn out after a while. That's a lot of work, man. And if you're trying to be the best, it requires a lot, you know. So
yeah, because there's no downtime. It's just go.
How was it you growing up in Harlem?
Growing up in Harlem, it was good. I love Harlem, and I'm glad I'm from there. But, I usually don't be outside sometimes. I usually go to workouts, hit the gym, or I'm upstairs playing video games.
So let me ask you a question, right? We're going to go off the course just a little bit, right? Because I got sons also, right? And with the college, very good in baseball, very good in basketball. How did you escape the streets, like the temptation of the gangs and the drugs and all that? What made you, you know, obviously you came from a good family. What made you, sometimes we don't listen to our family, what made you say, nah, I don't go over there. I'm going to practice. I'm going to play baseball. I'm going to play basketball. I'm going to upstairs play my video game. I'm going to stay easy. What made you humble yourself as a kid, a young man, and just stay positive?
When I used to go visit my uncle in jail, I didn't really like the
Mm.
scene that he was in. So I took a whole, like sometimes I was a bad kid with a bad attitude, but when I saw him in there, I took a whole nother life track.
Right.
I focused on myself. I didn't really go outside. I just focused on books and ball.
Did he speak to you like talk to you, yo, man, you don't want to come where I'm at, and
Definitely.
stay out there and do the right thing? That's cool.
So now we'll get to the academic side. Oh, we obvious, you know what I'm saying? You must be pretty smart. 27 colleges, scholarship, academics. This not athletic scholarship, academic. Growing up as a kid, when it came to you the point where you took it serious, like for school, like I want to be, top of my class.
As soon as my mother told me she got her master's and bachelor's, I knew I had to do better than her.
Mm.
Oh wow, okay, that's good. So she said she had her master's and
Bachelor's.
master's and bachelor, right? Well, how old you was when you felt that way? Like I want to be better.
Probably during like 5th or 6th grade. Because it was this other girl too that was in competition with me to be the smartest in the class.
Yeah.
So it was always me and her through middle school too.
So what about your early years, like 1st and 2nd grade? How was you as a student then?
Oh yeah, nah. I could have skipped a grade in kindergarten, but
Oh, so this been since
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I could have skipped kindergarten, but my attitude.
Oh, okay. And your mom ain't want you to get skipped?
Nah, I don't think so.
My cousin too. My cousin, he was real smart. He could have got skipped, but like in 1st grade, his mom told him no. Kiara.
Sometimes skip can affect you later on, though. But let me ask you a question. Piggyback on what you said, right? So 27 schools is very, very big, right? Not big, it's very, very big. Because most kids apply like 5 schools and they can't wait till the mail come and they get accepted to one. You got accepted to 27 colleges. How did you feel, man? I mean, like the excitement. Do you have like an emotional feeling? How did you feel? That's not normal.
Yeah, it was.
That's big.
It was unbelievable. Like as soon as first I got Baylor University, my first college offer, and I was like, oh, well that's regular. And then more and more and more kept coming in. And then my mother told me I reached 1 million scholarships. I was just proud of myself.
Yeah, you
I like-
need to be. And what was one of your favorite subjects, you would say?
Math.
Math, see?
So I like when I do the interviews, I like the build up. I like to go from the start to give people the understanding, where it came from instead of just jumping into the meat of it. So you said back in kindergarten. So your mindset right there, you was already at that level where you equipped to get your work and everything in order. So from there, you start taking your work real serious, right?
Yeah, I did. But I'm not gonna lie. I used to joke around with my friends a lot. I was distracted, but I knew it was also time for work. That's what kept me focused, like more.
You do like reading?
Huh? Sometimes on and off.
So what was it? You just probably naturally smart? Because you ain't do a lot. You said this, like what was it? Because I want the kids who younger than you to understand how serious it is.
Like when people go,
Like from kindergarten, your mom, she did a great job, right?
yeah,
So when she kept you like on the books an hour a day, 2 hours a day, like
yes.
what was it?
She had me studying for like 3 hours before I played the game. Like definitely if I bring like a under 85 in the house, like I was in big trouble.
Under 85?
Yeah, that's how strict she was. So I couldn't have none of that. I wanted to play my
And
games.
not to interrupt, but during those 3 hours when you studied today, what exactly were you studying at that time? Because some kids say they're studying and they're not. So what exactly were you looking over and what exactly were you doing
But,
in those 3 hours span?
in kindergarten?
No, in
Oh,
general,
oh.
when your mom was making you study every day, because this was pretty much in general throughout your life,
Yeah.
where she told you, study 3 times a day before you play the game, correct?
Usually, I study math problems, my English. I had to take Spanish, so I study Spanish a lot. I studied religion, but mostly I studied in the textbooks because that's where all the tests come from.
All right, so Doc wanted, he wanted to build up a story, so I'm gonna take it back too. Because everything.
No, the build up is
I
important
understand,
to
but let me
understand it for
finish.
the,
I understand it.
the
It's great.
listeners.
Relax. I'm piggybacking. So we talking about the educational part of your build-up. What about
Wow, welcome to this monster drink is crazy. What you, yo, Callie, explain to them how it was when I walked in here before I had this monster.
Stop. You was real dry until you had this Monster Energy drink right here. I'm telling you, like, this is a picker-upper.
I said I drank this monster drink. Y'all got to get with the program, champ. The basketball part and the baseball part, did you go to clinics? Who taught you how to be good? You just naturally got, or you play with your friends, you play with some relatives, or they put you in some camps? What helps you improve, you get your game up?
So at first with baseball,
Mm-hmm.
I was playing T-ball, and my uncle told me everything I know for baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I used to practice with him, get up like 7 o'clock in the morning for baseball, practice pitching, practice catching, the ground balls, everything. He always take me to the gym with him to get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But in basketball, first I was horrible. I'm not gonna lie. I was like fifth grade, I was horrible. And then coach named Coach Dilly took me under his wing, told me everything I know. Riverbank, Coach T, Coach Dion, they told me everything I know too. Millbank, Coach Rose, Coach Preston told me everything. And then St. Ray's, Coach Lopez, he had me working out like every day, Monday through Friday. Like I get no breaks.
So those was your mentors?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
So how they felt about you on the academic side of things? I know they was like impressed, like, damn, this kid, this is very important because this Harlem, you come from the inner city, and for you to be focused like this, like B said earlier, you ain't want to be a part of the gangs or the thing that goes on in the streets. For you to stay focused, be like, I want to just play sports, do my homework, and play my video games. So I'm pretty sure your parents, your coaches, who you said who was heavily involved in your process. I know they was really proud.
Yeah. Because some athletes out here, they put athlete before student, but me, I put student before athlete.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, right? So we're gonna talk about your mother for a minute, right? Because you kind of remind me of mine a little bit, right? So she wasn't happy with 85.
Not at
She
all.
was like, 85. You got to do better. So when you did better, did she buy you anything? Did you get like you a gift or a pair of sneakers? Did she reward you or anything like that?
Sometimes she rewarded me when I would ask. Like if I don't ask, she wouldn't. But if I would ask, then she would give me a pair.
Because sometimes they give you incentive, man. Because I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
my mother was hard like that too. I come back with something similar to that, and she be like, I said, "Come on, Mom." She said, "Listen, if you get what I want you to give, you do better. I got you." So that was my little motivation. Even though I liked school when I was young anyway. My motivation to get that, but my grades was up though. But your mother had a master's degree. That's pressure right there, Chad.
Yeah, that's pressure to
And
be
and she's a good role model.
a great one.
So after the 85, when did you came to the point with you when you be upset when you get 85? When it became to you like, man, I want 100. What age was that when you took it upon yourself to be like, nah, I don't want no 85?
Probably 8th grade.
8th grade. Oh, so that's when things turned around for the 8th grade. Man.
No, I've been an honor student, but like 8th grade was like the main track when it hit me. Like high school would be a different ball game. So 8th grade, I gotta start getting like 90s and up instead of 85s.
So how was you in school, in the high school in Hayes?
St. Raymond's.
St. Raymond's, yeah.
Oh, St. Raymond's. First freshman year in LaSalle, I was averaging a 92. Sophomore year, I transferred, so it kind of dropped to like 89.
89.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with myself. So junior year, I got up to 93, and then right now senior year, I'm trying to push it. I got a 96 average.
Damn.
So how was your schedule? So how did you have to manage your schedule as far as playing both sports and still managing to get over a 90 percentile?
Yeah, so practice would be like 4 to 6, and from the Bronx to my house like an hour, so it would be 6 to 7. So 7 to 9 would be study time, mostly for every day, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
So you said you work out?
Oh yeah.
How long you been working out now?
Probably since 9th grade of high school. My uncle would take me. Like when I had breaks, my uncle, I hate it, but I had to get up like 6:30 a.m.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Working out, it helps the body, the mind, and everything. You're a personal trainer, he'd tell you that.
I'm a master trainer, champ. Don't go put me down, man. I'm a master trainer, brother. No limits, man. I got 6 certifications. Master's degree. When you get a master, you got to respect the masters, man. You know, like in the Chinese flicks, when the master come through it all that, you get out the way, right? Now, but what's your GPA?
Right now,
Yeah.
96.
It's incredible. So when you walk through the school, right? How you feel when you walk through the school, man?
Everybody call me $1 million man.
Yeah, I know he walked through the school. I know he'd be like, "Yo, this that dude right there."
So we almost up to that time far as like at this level. So we want to bring your mom in, so she was a major part of your success.
Big major.
Yes, welcome.
Tell everybody your name, young lady.
Tawana.
Okay.
Welcome, Tawana.
Yes, I want to ask you about how it was raising Justin. Like he said, from kindergarten, they want to skip him. So can you go up to that part how he was as a kid?
He's actually an amazing kid. I have to confess, he makes my job super duper easy. When they wanted to skip him, I actually decided not to because I think like maturity and attitude wise, he wasn't developmentally ready. So I decided not to. It would have saved me a year tuition, but it's okay.
But you said save you with your tuition. Little you know, look, hey,
Yeah.
it's still saving you.
Yeah,
True,
mothers know
for sure.
best.
So with the sports, you was very supportive, mom, as far as him with the sports.
So as he's shaking his head, I support him in everything he said he want to do. If he said he want to be a rapper, I'm gonna make sure that he's the best rapper he is. If he said he's going to play basketball, he's going to be the best basketball player he is. If he said he's going to open a store, we're going to be behind the store selling chips together because I'm always going to support him. So when he decided he wanted to play baseball, it didn't really matter if I was out in the parties. You know, I used to party a lot. I was there with the sunglasses and Advil, making sure I supported my kid, and he always
The
he would
Advil?
be supported. Absolutely.
Yeah, Advil works.
Yes.
Did you
Wonderful.
find it to be any type of struggle, like when he was trying to manage both sports and schoolwork?
So I will honestly say we both work extremely well under pressure. So if I have 10 things on my plate, I'm good. When I have 2 things on my plate, I'm probably a little laxy daisy.
Right.
So I actually started back school when he was 5, and I didn't even look back up until he was like 11 and a half. So I went from kindergarten until he was in the 5th, 6th grade, and I did my bachelor's to my master's. And I always told him, like, I graduated with a 3.67, and I cried because it wasn't a 3.7, which is a straight A. And I always, you know, he's about to graduate with a straight A, so I'm like, but I mean, it happens. He got to do it when he gets to graduate school. So I always told him my favorite line to him is always raise the bar. You got to raise the bar. So if you can get 85s in your sleep, that means you need to do whatever you got to do to get the 90 to get the 95.
So I see, and so now I see where he gets that competitive nature.
Absolutely.
He get it from you,
Yes.
and it came from the schoolwork into his athletic talents.
Yes.
That competitive mindset, like she wasn't happy with a B plus, she wanted an A. That's competitive, you know. That's competitive in school with grades. You know.
And not only that, you know, we always want our children to do better than us, you know, so you held a high standard. So, you know, look, you did the same and even better.
Yes.
So when you was a kid, when he was young and you was working with him, he ain't give you no hard time as far as him learning. You know, like sometimes some
He's
kids
spoiled.
sometimes be like, oh, you be like, they don't want to do it.
No.
You have to really fight with them.
He's spoiled, right? So
Okay.
in my life, what you said made me laugh because that's pretty much what it is. He has no other job than school. I allow him to work summer youth if he gets called, but I'm never going to have him go work a job because it's what you have to do, right? So unfortunately, I'm blessed to be able to make a decent salary to be able to take care of him, get him whatever he needs. So that's your job. Your job is school. I do the rest. So if it's the Jordans coming out, I've been the parent on the House of Hoop line at 6 a.m. in the morning, waiting for him to get Jordans, or going to buy the Supreme sweaters or all the other crazy things that people are like, oh my God. But it's because
You deserve it.
with, you know, too much is given, much is required. So he does well in school. I do the rest.
Right.
Is he your only child?
Yes, one and done.
One and done.
One and done.
One and done. You're getting them the
That's
sports
a big
term.
reason why you sport.
Yes, one and
That's
done.
right. That's right.
So far as sports, to you, what sport you feel he was better at to you?
That's hard because I feel like he needs to be the best in everything. Which one I feel like baseball is a safer sport because you don't get hurt as much, but I probably love the game of basketball a lot more. But I'm like the crazy parent that's in the stands yelling, like, you touch my kid, I'm gonna kill you. So yeah, it works out.
So you, Justin, what sport you think you was better? Not which one you like more, which one you better at. Like you fought, like if a scout right now, what do you think they'd pay you to play basketball or baseball?
Baseball.
Baseball, okay. There it is.
So you played 4 different positions?
Yeah,
Which one you like the most?
pitcher.
Pitcher? There ain't too many black pitchers out there.
How tall are you again?
6'2".
6'2".
That's a good thing. So, how you felt about him with the 27? Can y'all, before we get to the 27, he was the interview, right? Your first scholarship. Let's go to how I felt when them letters started coming in. Both of y'all can share your experience with that. Like when the first letter came in, then the second, the third, and, so on. Y'all both can touch on that.
I was
The
excited.
first school.
Yeah, the first school was Barry University. I was excited when it came in. Because first, Barry University, it was my dream school. So when that came in, I was excited and proud of myself. I didn't really care about other colleges and stuff. But when everything came in, I just had patted myself on the back.
So when it started coming in your junior year?
No, straight my senior year.
Oh wow! Because sometimes a lot of
Yeah.
schools sometimes be junior
Yeah.
year, so everything came senior year,
All my senior year.
and you wanted there. How
So
about you?
we actually did not apply or look at anything until senior year. I would not advise parents to do that. I would say go during their junior year in the summer and go visit schools because we literally had like a crash course of everything. He had like letters coming in the summer, junior year, but we didn't pay any attention until he got his second SAT score, which was a little better. It wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be, but it was okay. And then we started applying to schools, and then acceptances came in.
Sharp, it's Don Vito from the B139.
What up, y'all? This is Dr. B139. Y'all know what it is.
The B139, rocking with the greatest, vibing with your favorites. Tune in Wednesday, 7 to 9. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Hear the latest scoop, R&B and hip hop news. So won't you tune in now so we can shout you out? The B139 is. We got the best and most. We rocking coast to coast, but we're not trying to roll. 139 is lit. Go tune in now and stream it live. Go tune in now. Go tune in now and stream it live. Go tune in now.
From early November until late March. And then it was like, okay, we had to wait until basketball season was over to go visit schools. So it was literally times where I was in Miami, I was in Atlanta, I was in DC, I was in Philadelphia, I was in Pennsylvania, like in the same week sometimes, to where people are like, where are you? To where literally my boss, she's supportive, she bought me a laptop and was like, just work from home, do what you need to do to get your son where he needs to be. So it was crazy.
All right. So how give me the timeline. I like details because people like that. So
Yes.
the listeners love it. Details from the first college, and then what was the rate it started coming in, like one at a time, 5, like from a week apart.
All right, first thing was Barry University is one, and then 2 came in. I think it was Iona and some other one. And then at one time, the most was like 5.
And they was coming like every day or like once a week, like that.
Yeah, every time the mail lady came.
Oh wow.
Yes, my mail lady actually hated us because the envelopes are big envelopes
Yeah.
when you get accepted. And I have to say, he probably would have had a lot more acceptances, but it was at one point where I just stopped answering. I stopped answering the phones. I stopped answering the emails just because it was overwhelming. And the more you put on your plate, the more you have to decide from. And I just felt like I was happy with like 20. And then when they just kept coming, I was like, oh God, this is crazy. Because we had to, try to visit.
How y'all felt when it went viral? Because it went viral that
Mhm.
the kids from
That's-
Harlem,
Yes.
27 schools, academic. Y'all, this academic, not athletic, academic scholarship. $1 million. over $1 million. How I felt when it went viral. When the next day, when it went viral, that was like on a Friday, right?
It was actually on a Wednesday because it was my
Wednesday.
birthday. And the Amsterdam News called me and they're like, hey, we got your information off of a post. I think I put the post up and they were like, we want to do a story on your son. And then I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, the story has to get published tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, well, I need his permission to do anything because although he's my kid, I don't make him do anything that he doesn't want to do.
Mhm.
So we did the story. And then the next day they were like, hey, we need more. Everybody's asking about this. I think it went to like 25,000 likes and, views on the Amsterdam News. It went crazy. So that was a lot to where we walked down the street in Harlem and people are like, hey, that's the $1 million kid. Can I shake your hand? And I'm like, okay.
First, I want to give this number out because we have callers. Y'all want to call in and talk to Justice 646-628-4264. 646-628-4264. If y'all want to speak with Justin. So how you felt about it? Well, the next day, that Thursday, when you walked to school.
I was feeling like the man. I think I'm probably like a lot of people doubt us kids from Harlem because we come from like a small area and stuff. So I was feeling like you had to curse, right?
Yeah.
I was feeling like not like OD, but I was feeling like the shit. Like
Yeah.
You are the shit, man.
Yeah.
27, you gotta be kidding me,
Yeah.
man.
And you make her job easy. She don't have to come out her pocket.
I know, hold on, so we going back to mom. I know your girlfriends, your co-workers, everybody talking about your kid right now.
Yes, absolutely. I have a really supportive circle of sisters / cousins / friends. So it's really, really good that they all support me through this process because I probably would have been pulling my weave out.
Caller, that's caller. Hello, caller.
Yeah,
You want to speak to Justin?
yeah.
Speak.
Justin is Ray.
That's one of my tutor students.
what's up, Ray?
And we have another
Justin,
call. Hello, Dan. This from popping. Hello, caller.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing? You want to speak?
Hey,
I'm
hey.
okay. This is Tori from New York, currently in Maryland.
Hi,
And
Tori.
I just want to tell Justin congratulations and also Tawana. Tawana, you did an amazing job. And Justin, I'm so proud of you.
Thank
And
you.
I just want to tell you to keep up the good work.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Call us 646-628-4264.
And the caller, you want to talk to Justin Hayes, he's the man. Justin is the man.
So Justin, there's a lot of conversations that's been going around as far as like, college is not for everyone. Like what would you tell your younger generation right now about that? What would be your opinion on that?
I think college is for everyone if you apply yourself to the maximum effort. Never give up on yourself and just keep pushing.
Absolutely.
Caller.
Hello?
Hello, caller.
Hello?
This is Maya.
Hey, Maya.
Hey Maya.
No man.
Hi, TT.
Hi.
Hi, Justin.
Hey.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
You want to act like you don't know how to talk. It's all right, though, because next Monday you're going to learn how to talk then.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, okay. All right.
All right, thanks, caller, for
Hey,
calling
thank you.
in.
Thank you for calling in. So how I felt when the letter started coming? You cried?
I think people expected me to cry, so I didn't cry because I need to be strong so he can be strong. So I think we actually got waitlisted to 2 schools, and that's when I was like, yeah, fuck you. But the 27 was more than enough. I was like really super duper proud of him because it shows that everything that he did, all the hours he sacrificed, all the parties I did not allow him to go to, paid off. And it made him be who
So
he's going to be.
I want to say this, man. You said all the parties you didn't allow him to go to, it paid off. Me personally, I don't think that parties has anything to do with anyone's success.
I'm not gonna say it does or it doesn't, but you're from Harlem and I'm from Harlem, right? And I think my kid is kind of green, whereas he didn't come up in Harlem when we came up in Harlem. So I think our generation had a lot more street sense than this generation has. They just do. They don't think. We
Yeah,
kind of
she's
thought
correct.
about consequences. So when
Yeah.
it came to a party, like my friend and I, we used to sit outside the parties and wait for our kids to finish partying and then get them, right? He's like, oh my God, why would you tell
On
people
the
that?
live.
But seriously, like we fought about what parties he could go to. Like that probably was our biggest, like, clash because I just wouldn't let him party with any and everybody. Even now he's 18 and people like he grown. I'm like, you're grown when you're on your own. He's not grown.
You did the right thing with that. 'Cause parties, I mean, you have fun, all that, but things can happen too.
Absolutely.
I'm not talking like violence and nothing like that, but it could distract you.
Yep.
It can distract you. It could be a downfall. Like Doc say, you can still. Some people can do it, but it can be a downfall. Also, and look at what would turn out for.
No,
him,
you can absolutely does both. He has a
Yeah.
social life. He's
Yeah.
able to party. He's able to date. He's able to play his PlayStation and do anything he wants to do.
Mhm.
But it's limits to everything because I think that he needs to know.
And you got to get him grounded now because he's getting ready to go to college.
Yes, where
You
it will
know,
be lots of
And college is
parties,
party central.
and mommy can't get on campus.
I'm telling you,
So I
party
wanna-
got to go. College
so I
got to
wanna,
go on.
Only Justin.
So I want to say this. It means a lot for y'all to come on the show, announce the school. So a lot of people is viewing the show right now because out of the 27, no one know where this guy's going. I don't know. Nobody here knows. So without further ado,
So wait, before he
Go ahead.
reviews, I want to say something. We did not choose, and I want this is really important. As a parent, we didn't choose the school who gave him the most money. We chose the school that would be, they gave him money, they gave him half, and they fit him totally, mind, body, spirit, and they're going to make him into the man that he desires to be. And I'm really super happy that his choice was my choice.
Mhm.
So we can get it together
That's right.
Okay.
and do what we have to do.
so this the moment is coming. So
Without further ado,
we definitely need these cameras rolling.
the big
We definitely
announcement.
need the big announcement. So we're gonna
The
get it
drums,
together.
Justin
drums.
Hayes.
Hold on, she wanna get her phone together because
Drums
everybody
in the
recording
meantime.
this. So that's more important.
Drum roll.
Drum roll.
Big announcement.
The big announcement. First time to beat 139.
We'll be attending Morehouse.
Yeah.
Oh, hey! Okay, Morehouse.
Morehouse.
Yeah. Great school.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Great school, buddy. Great choice.
So what makes you pick Morehouse?
As soon as I went there, I felt the love and I loved the brotherhood.
You love the brotherhood?
Yeah.
A lot of famous people went to Morehouse
Yes,
too, right?
definitely. And I will tell you, honestly, when we both went there, we was like another 4 years with all guys. But Spelman, Morehouse is here, Spelman is here, Clark Atlanta is
Mhm.
here. And like his host brother was amazing. And literally every day since he's been accepted, I get an email from Morehouse. And it's like, did you know? And of course, he's going to Morehouse, and we plan to do a lot of great things at Morehouse. He can literally go to any school in Georgia to take a class, which I found was amazing. And it's
Mhm.
all in, his
Didn't say that.
tuition. Yes. They get a Spelman sister. They have diners, lots of food, different things on campus. And again, the brotherhood was just absolute. It made me want to kind of like go back to school. Let me find out another degree I can get because I didn't go to the HBCU. And just looking at it and the brotherhood and seeing like the fraternities and the different things, it was just amazing. And I think we were supposed to stay from like 8 to 4, and we ended up being there from like 8 to 8. Just because it was just an amazing, we just fell in love with it, and we went to see other HBCUs, but that was the one.
So you said when your first letter came in was Bear, right? What makes you change your mind?
Because a lot of people go to a regular college. For me, it changed my mind because I wanted to go to HBCU and feel the experience.
Yeah.
Like for freshman year, I can't join the fraternity, but next year I will.
Okay. And you'll be playing baseball.
Yeah, I'm trying both.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Never limit yourself, bro.
That's right.
Ever.
So what's your future plans?
Future plans is to major in physical therapy / athletic training, or then minor in criminal justice or forensic science.
That training is big. Yeah.
Get
So
a bachelor's and master's in both too.
That's great. That's great. So
So one more thing. So what mark do you feel you left on your high school?
The mark I felt I left was if you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
And the first two.
Yeah, the first to do all of this. Mhm.
You left a huge mark. It's a couple of things that you left with that school, and one of them is definitely that you've been one of the first African Americans that's been accepted to 27 colleges and with scholarships, academically wise. Like that's huge.
Well,
congratulations.
congratulations.
Congratulations. Before you go, who your pick for the NBA finals this year? Who you think will win the NBA championship?
Well, my favorite player is Kobe. My favorite team, the Lakers.
There you go.
Kobe, baby.
Lakers, boy.
Oh, you got that purple on, baby. You know you like the
Got
Kobe.
Lakers. But they not in it, so who you think gonna win it?
I think the Warriors gonna win.
Me too. I think they will.
Yeah, that's what it is.
There's definitely been
It's their last year, though. It's their last run.
Yeah, it's their last run.
Yeah.
We'll be back next year.
We want-
It's definitely been a
would-
pleasure
thank you
because
for coming to the
y'all
show.
came and announced the school. Everybody.
Yes, congratulations again.
So can you tell people where to find you at your social media links?
Instagram J_Trimble56 and Facebook is Justin Trimble.
Justin Trimble. Can you tell them what podcast you on?
The Beat 139. The
Yes.
best.
Big 139. Thank you.
Justin Hayes, 3139 show. Straight up.
That's great.
All right. Next.
What's up? It's Don Vito from the B139.
What up, y'all? This is Doc, the B139. Y'all know what it is.
The beat